It is the 25th anniversary Hong Kong Reunification Cup. It's a Class 1 handicap over the 1,200 metres. The field is headed by Lucky Express. John Sires out on helmet jump from barrier number 3, coming out of the Premier Cup last time at Master 8. Nervous Witness dropping class as well. They're coming out of a Group 2 and Group 3 respectively, as is Duke Y and Harmony and Rich. All these wins, though, been at Happy Valley, Harmony and Rich. Campione comes up in class. He likes to roll forward. He's drawn barrier 1. He's won 3 of 5 so far here. Trillion Win and Winning Dreamer. He comes up in class with his last start's win. Grateful Heart and Kaying Master are also coming up in class. Very versatile Kaying Master. He's won on all surfaces at both tracks as well. All right, back to the speed map here first, Tom. And, well, it could be a bit of competition for the lead here, could they? Good to fast, we're saying. Yeah, there is a bit of speed in this race. Nervous Witness, we know he likes to go forward. Campione, he's certainly a horse that likes to go forward. He has barrier 1, Campione. Nervous Witness will have to come across from 9. But then there's also speed in barrier 8, Paul, from Harmony and Rich, who's first up since October of last year. Yeah, and I think will eventually put pressure on Nervous Witness. But Campione, look, when he's won, he has led as well. So I don't think he'll want to get into a speed battle. That's just the thing that worries me a little bit there. Whatever happens, I think Master 8's going to get himself into a really nice position. Winning Dreamer likewise. And the race should be set up, if they do overcook it, I mean, horses like Duke Y and Blaze Warrior have got good finishes on them. OK, all right, so potential for a bit of change there, particularly if Campione wants to kick up on the inside. We'll leave that to tactics as far as that is concerned. But Nervous Witness is trained by David Hayes, and Nick was out at track work to catch up with him.
David, Nervous Witness will line up on Friday here at Sha Tin. He ran a super race last time in the Group 3. How's he been since? Yeah,
he's sort of held his form. His trial was good. He's drawn a bit awkwardly, but he seemed to really like the 1,200 metre pressure of the race. So he gets a chance to cruise a bit rather than rolling along so fast.
Just on that most recent trial, he really did look to sort of, tank along in that trial. Doesn't seem to have lost any of his form and prowess throughout the course of the season. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, his weakness is when the tempo's not fast, he can tend to over-race. That won't be an issue this weekend. There's a lot of speed in the race. And if he can jump well and cruise across from the gate without too much pressure, he'll be there in the end.
Is that just his makeup, given that he's quite a big, strong, robust horse, that he just likes to sort of get on with things?
Yes, he does. And I'm hoping that can just improve with age, and that'll allow him to compete consistently at the elite level. Yeah, absolutely. He's got a familiar rider on him as well. Zach Purton's back on board. How important is that in your mind to have Zach back on? Look, I think he runs for everyone, but, Zach's fighting out the premiership, and there's not many people better than Zach, so I'm very happy to have him on.
He's gone up in the weights, of course. That race last time he carried a featherweight. He's got 16 pounds more to carry. Would there be any concern with the weight possibly in what is a competitive race, as you've said?
Oh, look, I don't think so. I think the opposition are probably 16 pound worse, so it's all relevant.
It certainly is. And just with this, obviously this, I presume, his last run of the season, and then into next, just the plan, I suppose, to come through this and target a few big pots next season?
Yeah. Look, we'll sort of, if he's good enough to win on Saturday, we'll target. Well, his rating will give us no choice. He'll be running in the best races.
And in a time in which obviously we're celebrating memorable moments here in Hong Kong, good to see those colours, the black and green, back in the winner's circle before the season's out. I'm sure.
Yes, one of the all-time greats, Silent Witness. I think he got compared to him early, but I've seen a lot of horses race in Hong Kong over the last 20 years, and not many can compare to him.
Yeah, he might get somewhere a bit closer, perhaps, in time. Just quickly, in the last 25 years, what's been your most memorable moment, David?
Look, personally, probably All Thrills 2 winning the big sprint. He was the first Hong Kong horse to win the international race. Elegant Fashion winning the Derby as a filly was a big thrill. Probably that's on a personal note. And then probably most exciting horse I've ever seen, one of the best wins I ever saw here was Gin and Tonic, when he used to come over and charge home from the back. Used to hold his best form for Hong Kong.
Great seeing some of that old footage there. And you can vote for your memorable moments as well. That's on the website. Let's keep moving though, because we've got a few horses to have a look at here, some of his rivals. What of these, Tom? We've got Lucky Express, here in the purple and gold, and Blaze Warrior as well. There's a lot of early money for Blaze Warrior, and of course he is getting a lot of weight here in the handicap, but as David said, that's what it's all about, handicap racing.
It certainly is. He was unlucky 2 runs ago, but he didn't get much of a crack at them, but he loomed up here, and he just seemed to peak on his run, I thought, last start. Did Blaze Warrior. Lucky Express, the only little worry I had with him, Paul, he was right on the cusp of making into the top 4, was just going from 123 to carrying 135 now. It was a terrific run from him behind Beauty Joy.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And look, he hit the line really well. I mean, Beauty Joy is just winning all before him at the moment, but I thought it was a good run from him. I'm going to include him. I think he might get the race run to suit.
Yeah, that was the Premier Cup, of course, and that incredible run from Beauty Joy. He was out of the race and flashed home. What do we got here? Master 8, eventually finishing 3rd, and we got Lucky Express once more, Paul, right behind him, running in 4th.
Yeah, look, Master 8 goes in as well for me, because he's another one that I think he's going to get a really nice run from at barrier number 6. Look, we know he's a very good horse, Master 8. He was winning them in a row. He won 5 in a row. The last 3, look, he's run okay, but he's been racing against the top horses, Wellington, etc. So, look, he definitely goes in for me.
He missed a run in the Group 1 sprint on Champions Day because he had an elevated temperature, so had to come out of that. But he wasn't beaten too far there, just beaten by the best sprinter we've got.
He was actually favourite for that race, though, Master 8, incredibly. On to your weather here, Tom. Campione. So this is the interesting one. Does he kick up and try and lead regardless, or does he take the sit? We've got Kying Master right in behind him, and horse finishing further back is Grateful Heart.
I think there's a real distinct possibility that they do try and kick up with the Campione, especially from barrier number 1. We know he likes to lead, and when he has led, he's been effective enough to win. He's got a good turn of foot, does Campione, but we know how quickly Paul Nervous Witness can begin. He wasn't the quickest out, this horse, last time out, but was still able to find the front. They might try and push on. Yeah,
that's quite possible as well. And then we know Tony Cruz does like to lead. He's got the inside draw, and Nervous Witness is going to have to come across. Look, Harmony and Rich is the other one, which is going to make it hard as well, because he likes to go on the pace. He's got the Dylan Mobile as well.
OK, we'll see Harmony and Rich in a moment. Taking this one for the start, this is Winning Dreamer, winning last time out. So he draws 12 on this occasion. On Friday, he draws barrier number 4, a change for him. Trillion Win, he's in 8. He draws barrier 11, so he moves out. And Blaze Warrior in 5, Paul, well, he actually draws barrier 5 once more.
Yeah, so he's got a nice draw, but he hasn't really got the gate speed, as you can see, Blaze Warrior. He normally gets back. They went forward this time. He'd been going back, Winning Dreamer. You can see with that really good start that he's got. And look, he was a massive price because he'd been out of form leading into this race, but it was a good run from him. Look, he's going to, I don't think he'll get into a speed battle at all from barrier number 4, and he should be getting a nice run. I thought he'd be about 3 back on the inside. So, look, I think he'll get his opportunity in this race.
And look here, he had a horrible run in transit. He was wide throughout, was never anywhere near the fence, but still had the audacity to fight on and win, and beat some horses that are in good form, like Trillion Win and Rewarding Together. Rock Your Heart as well, that's Fantastic Treasure down the outside there as well in the blue and gold. So there was a lot to like about his tough effort here last start. Won it by a short head. His form, as Paul mentioned, been out in the wilderness, but was able to prevail here by a short head for fans earlier on in his career when he was stringing them a row. If they followed in at 49 to 1, they'd be happy.
Yeah, Blaze Warrior got held up halfway down the straight there. So you could probably give him a bit of an excuse for that. Back at the trials here, Tom, for Harmony and Rich,
now, this is
been off the track for a while.
Yeah, this is the speed horse in the race here, Harmony and Rich. Look, it's going to be a tough ask, fresh, I feel, but he's got a bit of ability, this horse. He's won 4 from 17, 6 through his career from his 21 start. Nothing wrong with the trial, but they have to press on from that draw, don't they?
They do, and he's just going to make it harder for horses like Nervous Witness, and that's see what happens with Campione as well, because he is a very speedy horse. His best form has been at Happy Valley, it must be said, though.
Harmony and Rich, yeah, most definitely. So Blaze Warrior is our favourite at this stage. Paul, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I didn't quite get Blaze Warrior in. It's a really good race, this. I mean, he does come in well in the handicap, but I'm going to go with Campione. I think he can either lead or trail. Lucky Express gets back. He'll be running on. Master 8 and Winning Dreamer. 6-1-2-8.
I think the race is nicely set up for Master 8 here, resuming off the back of a couple of good trials. Trillion Win's been running some enormous races as well. Winning Dreamer and Nervous Witness, so 2, 7, 8 and 3.
3 and 2, my cue there in the feature race, but a good lineup, as the guys were saying.